The screen flickers like static as faint whispers, indistinct, layered voices, creep into the soundscape. A woman's face materializes out of the haze, her eyes wide but unseeing, her breath shallow. The room around her is familiar yet wrong. Furniture slightly askew, colors muted, shadows pooling unnaturally in corners. She stands frozen, staring at her hands. They look like hers, but something feels off. Her fingers tremble, and when she flexes them, they seem to ripple as though caught between frames of existence. She reaches for a glass of water on the counter, but it shatters before her hand makes contact. A cascade of shards suspended mid-air for just a fraction too long before clattering to the floor. A low hum builds beneath everything, vibrating through the bones of the viewer. It's not unpleasant, but it's relentless, growing louder with each passing second. Her reflection in the fractured glass catches her attention, and for a moment, just a sliver of a moment, her reflection mouths something, not a word, a name. Emily. It echoes inside her, not like memory, but like recognition. She gasps, stepping back, and the floor sighs beneath her weight, creaking as though decades have passed since anyone walked here. On the wall behind her, a clock ticks backward. Its hands spin faster and faster until they blur completely, leaving only a faint glow where the numbers should be. She turns toward it, her movements slow, deliberate, as if moving through molasses. What is happening? Why does this feel real? Her voice doesn't come out. It echoes inside her head instead, reverberating like a dropped stone in an endless cavern. Somewhere deep within, a memory stirs, running down a hallway as a child, chasing laughter that never belonged to anyone she knew. But now, standing here, she can't tell if the memory is hers or someone else's. The air thickens, heavy with the metallic tang of ozone. A sharp crackle fills the space, and suddenly, the lights above flicker wildly. Each flash reveals a different version of the same room, one bathed in sunlight, another cloaked in shadow, and another entirely empty except for a single chair facing away from her. She blinks hard, trying to steady herself, but the act of blinking seems to stretch time impossibly thin. When her eyes open again, the chair is gone, but a mirror has appeared where it once stood. The mirror. Same crack in the corner, same impossible reflection. Only this time, the woman staring back at her wears a necklace she doesn't recognize, a pendant shaped like a spiral galaxy. A ringing rises in her ears, soft at first, then deafening. The sound isn't external. It's coming from somewhere, deeper, resonating through every cell in her body. And then, abruptly, silence. She exhales, unaware she'd been holding her breath, takes a step closer to the mirror, and whispers, "Who am I becoming?" The next morning, she wakes up, or at least she thinks she does. The room feels heavier, like it's holding its breath. Sunlight filters through the blinds, but something about it seems off. The light bends unnaturally around objects, pooling on surfaces in ways that defy logic. She rubs her eyes, trying to shake the feeling, but when she opens them again, the cracks in the mirror have multiplied. Her reflection tilts its head slightly to one side, studying her. Not mocking, not menacing, just watching. She turns away, quickly, her heart pounding. "This isn't real," she mutters under her breath. But even as she says it, the words feel hollow. Somewhere deep inside, she knows they aren't true. A faint hum builds in the background, quieter than before but more insistent. It vibrates along her spine, a reminder that whatever is happening isn't just outside, it's inside her too. She moves toward the kitchen, desperate for normalcy. A cup of coffee, maybe some toast, something grounding. But as she reaches for the coffee beans, they crumble into dust in her hands. "No," she whispers, shaking her head. "No, no, no." Her voice echoes back at her, not from the walls, but from somewhere deeper, layered with other voices. They sound distant, almost familiar, murmuring fragments of sentences she can't quite make out. She slams the container down, frustration bubbling over. Why is this happening? For a moment, everything stops. The hum fades, the air stills, even her breathing seems suspended. And then, a single drop of liquid falls from the ceiling, landing on the countertop with a soft plink. She stares at it, frozen. Another drop follows, then another, until a steady trickle forms. But it's not water. It's golden, shimmering like molten sunlight. The smell hits her first, an intoxicating blend of rain-soaked earth and ozone, tinged with something metallic. Her skin prickles as if charged with static electricity. Then comes the taste, sharp and bitter, like biting into raw copper. She presses a hand to her chest, suddenly aware of how fast her heart is racing. Beneath her palm, her heartbeat feels irregular, skipping beats like a faulty metronome. "What is wrong with me?" she whispers, sinking into a chair. But the question hangs unanswered in the air, replaced by a new realization. It's not her. That's wrong. It's everything else. If I'm breaking, is the world breaking too? Her thoughts spiral, ricocheting between fear and curiosity. She remembers the mirror, the way her reflection seemed so calm, so sure. Was it trying to tell her something, or was it just another fracture, another piece of the puzzle falling apart? Her gaze drifts to the pendant hanging around her neck, the same one her reflection wore in the mirror. She hadn't noticed it before now. Its spiral galaxy design catches the light, spinning slowly despite there being no breeze. She touches it tentatively, half expecting it to burn or shock her. Instead, it feels warm, alive, humming faintly against her fingertips. The lights flicker again, but this time they don't stop. They pulse rhythmically, matching the erratic beat of her heart. Each flash reveals fleeting glimpses of alternate versions of the same room, one filled with lush green plants overtaking every surface, another empty except for a single chair facing away from her, yet another bathed in twilight, shadows stretching long across the floor. When the lights finally stabilize, the room looks normal again, or as normal as it ever has since this began. She stands abruptly, determination replacing fear. Whatever is happening, it's tied to her. Deep down, she knows it. Every glitch, every distortion, it's all connected to the chaos swirling inside her. And yet, there's also clarity here. A strange kind of clarity she hasn't felt in years. Maybe the cracks aren't breaking me apart. Maybe they're letting something in. The room around her shifts again, but this time it feels less like chaos and more like a whisper, a soft rearrangement of energy rather than destruction. She stands in what appears to be an infinite hallway, its walls lined with mirrors stretching endlessly in both directions. Each mirror reflects a slightly different version of her, one laughing, one crying, one standing still as if frozen in time. But there's something new, a faint golden thread running along the edges of the mirrors, connecting them all. It hums, softly, vibrating with a frequency she can feel in her chest. Her breath catches. Somewhere deep inside, she knows this thread isn't just part of the hallway. It's her. She reaches out tentatively toward the nearest mirror. Her reflection smiles back at her, not smugly or mockingly, but warmly, encouragingly. For the first time, she notices that the pendant around her neck glows brighter when she looks into the mirror. Its spiral galaxy design seems alive now. Spinning slowly, radiating light that matches the golden thread, she steps closer, pressing her hand against the glass. To her astonishment, the mirror ripples like water, and her fingers sink through. Panic surges, but before she can pull away, the reflection grabs her wrist, not forcefully, but gently, almost lovingly. And then, everything changes. The hallway dissolves into a vast expanse of stars, swirling galaxies and shimmering nebulae. She floats weightlessly, surrounded by beauty so immense it borders on overwhelming. Every star pulses rhythmically, synchronized with the beat of her heart. A voice echoes, not from outside, but from within. It's calm, timeless, yet deeply personal. You are not lost. You are becoming. What does that even mean? How am I supposed to become anything if I don't even know who I am anymore? As if in response, the stars begin to collapse inward, forming shapes, patterns, until they coalesce into a single radiant figure standing before her. It's not human, not entirely. Its form shimmers between states, existing simultaneously as many things: a tree rooted in cosmic soil, a river flowing upward, and a being made of pure light. It tilts its head, studying her. Do you see it yet? The field listens because it is you. Your coherence calls forth worlds. Her brow furrows. Confusion battles curiosity. Coherence. What does that even look like? The figure doesn't answer directly. Instead, it gestures, and the scene shifts again. Now she sees herself, not as she is now, but as she could be. Calm, grounded, radiant. This version of her sits cross-legged in a sunlit meadow, hands resting lightly on her knees, eyes closed in serene focus. Around her, flowers bloom instantly. Birds sing melodies that resonate like chords, and the air vibrates with harmony. The pendant hangs around this future self's neck too, glowing steadily. When future self opens her eyes, they're filled with quiet power. You don't have to fight for it. Just feel it. Become it. The vision fades, leaving her suspended once more among the stars. The hum grows louder, resonating not just in her ears but in every cell of her body. It's no longer disorienting, it's grounding, like coming home after years of wandering. Suddenly, she understands. The distortions in her reality weren't punishments or accidents, they were reflections. Mirrors show her the fractures within herself, the fear, the resistance, the need to control. But they also showed her potential. Her ability to align thought, emotion, and action into a signal so clear it could collapse entire timelines. She closes her eyes, letting the realization wash over her. I'm not breaking apart, I'm breaking open. The stars around her begin to swirl faster, coalescing into streams of light that spiral inward like galaxies folding into themselves. She feels weightless, suspended in a sea of infinite possibility. For the first time, she isn't afraid. Instead, she feels calm, whole, as though she's exactly where she's meant to be. A soft hum fills the space, a sound both familiar and otherworldly, resonating through every cell in her body. It's the same hum she heard earlier, but now it feels comforting, like an old friend returning home. Her pendant glows brighter than ever, pulsing rhythmically with her heartbeat. The golden thread connecting the mirrors reappears, weaving through the air like liquid sunlight. It wraps gently around her wrist, tugging her forward, not forcefully but invitingly. She takes a step, then another, following the thread as it leads her towards something unseen but deeply felt. The thread pulls her into a new scene, a quiet forest bathed in twilight. The air smells sweet, like blooming flowers and damp earth. Trees tower above her, their leaves shimmering faintly, casting dappled patterns of light on the ground below. At the center of the clearing stands a mirror, the same one from her apartment, but now it's freestanding, surrounded by glowing orbs of light hovering at different heights. Each orb pulses softly, emitting tones that harmonize with the hum in the air. She approaches cautiously, her bare feet brushing against cool moss. When she reaches the mirror, she hesitates, then raises a hand to touch its surface. This time, there's no resistance. It ripples like water, inviting her in. But instead of stepping through, she pauses. Something inside her shifts. What am I waiting for? Why am I still holding back? The answer comes not as words, but as a feeling, an overwhelming sense of clarity washing over her. She realizes she's been clinging to fear, to doubt, to the belief that she has to do something to make this work. But none of that matters anymore. She exhales slowly, letting go of the tension she didn't even know she was carrying. And in that moment, the mirror shatters. Not violently, but beautifully, dissolving into countless shards of light that rain down around her like falling stars. Each shard lands softly, embedding itself into the earth and transforming into tiny flowers that bloom instantly, filling the clearing with vibrant colors. Amidst the blossoms, she notices the pendant lying on the ground where the mirror once stood. Picking it up, she sees that the spiral galaxy design is now complete, no longer spinning, just steady and radiant. She clasps it around her neck again, feeling its warmth settle into her chest. The hum crescendos, becoming almost deafening before abruptly cutting off, leaving only silence. In the absence of sound, she hears a single voice, her own, but deeper, richer, layered with echoes. You were never broken. You were always becoming. Tears well in her eyes as the truth sinks in. She wasn't fighting against herself. She was aligning with who she already was. Reality begins to shift again, but this time it's different. The forest fades, replaced by her apartment, but it's changed. The furniture is arranged perfectly, the air smells fresh, and sunlight streams through the windows, illuminating everything in golden hues. On the counter sits a single flower, one of the ones from the clearing. Its petals shimmer faintly, reminding her of the journey she just took. She smiles, running her fingers over the pendant at her throat. The field responds to coherence, not control. You have become the signal. Don't need to chase anymore, I'm already here. She stands in her apartment once more. But now it feels different. Lighter, warmer, more alive. The air hums softly, a gentle whisper from the infinite field she's finally attuned to. On the counter rests the flower from the forest clearing. Its petals shimmer faintly as if keeping a secret only the soul could understand. Her reflection catches her eye in the mirror. For the first time, it doesn't feel like someone else watching. It feels like her. Whole, complete, radiant. The pendant at her neck glows steadily, no longer spinning or pulsing. The spiral galaxy etched into its surface seems eternal now, a symbol of the coherence she has become. She smiles, not out of vanity, but out of remembrance. She walks to the window and opens it wide. Fresh air rushes in. Outside, the city moves, as always. But to her, everything looks sharper, truer, as if she's seeing through the eyes of someone who no longer searches. A bird lifts from a nearby tree and soars. She watches it rise into the sky and whispers. It wasn't about chasing anything. It was about becoming still enough to let it find me. A memory rises, running down a hallway as a child, chasing laughter that never belonged to anyone she knew. But now she understands. That laughter wasn't outside her. It was always within, waiting to be remembered. Her fingers instinctively find the pendant, warm against her skin. It grounds her. She remembers the golden thread, how it wove through mirrors, through timelines, through every version of herself. And then something clicks. The thread isn't just hers. It connects everything. You are the field. You are the wave. You are both observer and observed. Her eyes open, wide, full of wonder. I'm not just creating my reality. I'm entangled with it. The hum returns, soft now, tender. It resonates gently through her chest, syncing with her breath. Then, silence. A silence that holds everything. She exhales. Light. She walks to the counter, picks up the flower, and places it in a vase on the windowsill. Sunlight pours through the glass, casting golden fractals on the walls. She leans closer, and there, etched into one of the petals, a spiral galaxy, the same as her pendant. She smiles, not because she remembers falling asleep, but because this time I didn't wake up, I already am. The coherence you seek has been seeking you. The words hover like a breath across the field, and that hum inside your chest. It's not anxiety, it's awakening, the spiral pendant, the cracked mirror, the golden thread that weaved itself through every fractured version of her story. They weren't just for her. They've always been waiting for you. You've felt the flicker, the distortion, the knowing. Maybe the world wasn't falling apart. Maybe it was falling into place. So now, a question. What if you didn't need to change, only to remember? This is Emily's Quantum Quest. Subscribe to follow the frequency and listen closely. The field is listening.